man get locked up. And I could say that I was traffic and this person came ready to come in here. First thing, I'm underage. I'm underage and in the interior. Right? I could get sent to girls' school. Or wherever. So to save myself, well, save myself a lie. So sometimes we need to get down to the bottom of these issues as why people are doing sex work, why people in this situation. I was talking to some of my peers up to last night, and some of them tell me, Miss Edwards, me really want to do sex work, but I get nothing else to do. Situation get me this. I got to buy a bed, I got to buy this, I got to buy a stove, I want to go on my own, I want to rent my own house. I live with my aunt, she treating me bad. That's why I'm doing what I'm doing. A lot of times we have to find out, is it the truth that these people tell it? I used to go Suriname through the backtrack. Back in the days, 25 years ago, they wanted to tell, hey, nice little girl, fatso. And I go through the backtrack, no passport, nothing, nobody didn't traffic me.
If we had the Women Minors Organization, then at 14 you would have been taken off the street and put into a
You want to find me?
Or policy that we need to be mindful of so that we can protect the human rights of the people we're trying to work with and our own rights as people who provide a particular service. Can we hear a little bit on that?
There is no law in the books of Guyana that prohibits or that says sex work is unsafe.
Frontline staff will know the sex workers more than often. They will know whether they're nationals or whether they're immigrants. That's all they can say. Should be able to document when these raids occur and be able to identify individual women and men who may in fact be sort of wrongfully pulled into this. We could begin to do our documentation and our cataloging of these in preparation for that longer term view of challenging those laws. We also need as a collective to be able to identify sources of legal support that we can appeal to. So even as we catalog, who are we funneling this information we have to? And are there institutions ready and willing to take this on?
We always invite other NGOs, but some come, some don't come. We invite the police, we invite the government officials. We never just go alone.
Ms. Thompson?
Yes, but I'm not sure from a legal perspective that the Guyana, in as much as I support their work, I don't know that there's any legally that you have to come in a hotel and push in the door and knock on the door and pull out somebody. It is illegal.
Police should be doing that.
Police
That's the police function. There needs to be proper protocols in place. Okay, you want to stop out trafficking in persons, fine. But you cannot stop out trafficking in persons by trampling on people's rights. Because if they come and meet me in the hotel, I might be turned a victim of trafficking.
Council, if you go out on some of our outreach program, you won't be saying this. You would be such a sad woman. The things that we are confronted with,
No, I don't think it yet.
some are unimaginable, unimaginable. And we never go, we always go with the police.
Collectively, rethink the strategy of taking media on the raids as opposed to maybe organizations like GWMO having kind of like their own press publicity person who documents and so on, and then shares the reports after, so you don't have the situation with the photos and so on. I know it's hot news if the media is there and it's on, but if it's going to be at the risk of exposure and violations of the rights of victims and so on, is it really worth it?
So I'm hoping that SASA, I'm hoping that some of the legal minds present may be willing to come and help us to hammer out some of the issues that we need to hammer out legally. But I thank you very much, everyone, for coming and sharing. and I invite you to have yourself a little lunch before you walk out of here.